Valentina and I'm a juggler. It feels kind of weird to say that because I grew up believing that I couldn't juggle, but now it's a part of my identity and even my career. I started to belly dance when I was 12 years old. I was super rebellious at that time, and my mom couldn't leave me home alone in the house, so she would take me along with her to her belly dance classes. In the beginning I just would watch, but over time I started to try the belly dancing, and I've been doing it ever since then. About 10 years after I started to belly dance, I picked up a hula hoop, and it was love at first spin. I was completely addicted, and then started learning all different flow arts, fire dancing, stilt walking, acrobatics, aerial arts, yoga, and juggling. The first time that I juggled was about 7 years ago. I was in Bristol in the UK for Swoop, and I took Bags' Intro to Hoop Juggling workshop. It was only 1 or 2 hoops per person, maybe 3, 4, 5 hoops for 2 people, but we weren't actually juggling with 3 objects yet. It was very much a basic introduction to the concepts and ideas of juggling, but with hula hoops, and I loved it. I loved exchanging hoops between myself and the various partners in the workshop. I felt connected to these people even though I'd never met them before. They were complete strangers, but we were learning and discovering together as we passed hoops back and forth between us. And I learned that I actually was interested in figuring out how to juggle 3 objects. After Swoop, me and Bags went on a date, and it was probably the most awkward date I'd ever been on. I was pretty convinced that we had no romantic future between the 2 of us, and I went home from the date slightly horrified. But the next day, he actually asked me over to teach me how to juggle. I got it on the first try, but I think it was classic beginner's luck, and it took me many months after that to get a good solid pattern down. But that first time that I juggled, I can still remember the way that it felt. It was the closest I had ever been to meditating at that point in my life. I felt like I could step outside of myself and track my neural pathways. I could understand the thought patterns, the way they flowed in and out from each other, and why they went in those directions, because I had this outside perspective of myself. Bags and I joined forces, and we created our hoop juggling duo, Twisted Orbit. We've been traveling the world together, teaching and performing ever since then. We've also traveled around the States, and we've taught lots of workshops at different festivals, and we've taught a lot of women how to juggle. We've had the opportunity to teach them this introduction to hoop juggling workshop that got me hooked on juggling to begin with. So it's one of my favorite things to teach people because juggling has been so empowering to me. I personally grew up believing that I threw like a girl. I played softball when I was about 8, and I was terrible at it. I couldn't throw or catch that ball, and it really became a part of my identity that I couldn't throw or catch things. And then to learn how to juggle later on in life, it's really broken through all of those ideas I had about myself, and it's been really empowering. So I love to spread juggling. I love to teach it. I love to see it when somebody gets it for the first time. So I had a injury in my knee, my left knee, about 5 years ago, and just about 6 months ago I had knee surgery. And I'm also dealing with, unfortunately, a hip injury at the same time that I might be going in to get surgery for. So as you can imagine, this year has been really challenging for me. It's super hard not to be able to do all the things that I love. I'm not dancing or performing or teaching or hooping. I'm not doing yoga, all this stuff that makes me really happy and informs my identity. It can't really be a part of me right now, but one thing that I can do is I can juggle. So I've been doing it a lot more, and I feel that it's been helping me a lot in my recovery. Joyful and creative things that can kind of distract you away from maybe suffering or pain are really helpful for healing, and juggling is doing that for me right now, so I'm super grateful to have it in my life. I juggle because I love it. It's meditative, it's challenging, and it's satisfying. It's beautiful. It's never ending. There's always more to learn. It has helped me to overcome defeatist ideas of myself and have the confidence that I can achieve any of my goals. If I can learn to juggle, I can do anything.